can reach it. Your sacrifice, counting the victims, leaving their lives, nails under their skin. You should have known, you watched them sleeping, righteous or known, divine intervention. Control them, take the power.
Chantel, let's go. You're on a new tour at the moment.
I am, yeah. I think it goes on till about July, and then I have a little break and go on holiday. Thank goodness. And then come back and then tour up until Christmas again. So it's quite a lengthy tour, but it's all looking very good and very exciting.
Brilliant. And now there's rumours that there's a third album bubbling.
There's going to be about another 3 at this rate this year. I'm working on a few things actually. I'm working on an acoustic album, which is probably the one that's got the most progress at the moment. I'm also working on a live album, which will please so many people endlessly because I keep getting nagged about it. So that's good.
I think there's a lot of people out there want to be able to listen in their own homes to your extended wig outs.
I think they do.
Is that the right expression for a guitarist?
They just want to hear all my improv wiggling, I think. So that's potentially actually going to get recorded in 2 weeks' time at a show in Bury St Edmunds. So that's exciting, and I'm also writing, which is probably about half written, the 3rd studio album. So potentially 3 this year. Like nothing, it's like a bus, isn't it?
Well, one of my questions to you was going to be, do you write fast? You know, is a delay in coming up with a new album down to the fact that perhaps you're gigging too much?
Yeah,
you're not at home writing lyrics or chords.
Yeah.
But you've not that one. So you've got 3 albums. I mean,
Pretty
that's
much, yeah. Potentially this year, that's what's going to happen. I think, well, definitely the acoustic one because that's, really far on with that, so that's quite good. And the live album, I guess that's a quick thing, really, once it's done and mixed.
Well, I guess that's the simplest of the 3.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe 3 this year.
Let's talk about the acoustic album. That doesn't surprise me, but it's not what I'm used to hearing you play. Why did you decide to go that route?
The thing is, I've always loved acoustic music. I really love so many bands that do acoustic stuff and solo artists that do acoustic, and it's always been a big passion of mine is playing acoustic. But I only maybe put 2 songs in on the gigs, so it was like, oh, this is a bit rubbish. So I think it was like, not last year, the year before, we did the Acoustic Festival of Great Britain down in Bedford, I think it was. And they wanted us to do the band set acoustic. And I was like, what? We've never done this before. Oh my goodness.
That's a whole different dynamic,
Completely.
Isn't it?
It was a total different ball game. It was like, I was only allowed to use acoustic guitars. The bass was using an acoustic bass, and we had no drums. We just had percussion. Yeah. So it was like
brushes.
We used brushes and a snare and a cajon and all sorts of other bits and bats, shaker eggs and tambourines and everything.
Did you have to, with the band, presumably you had to rehearse all the songs? And there's some songs that just don't work acoustically, aren't there? And
we made them work. Everything had to be...
Pull the plug out.
It just all had to be completely reworked. So, like Fabulous from the first album, which is kind of like a pop song, really. It's like a synth pop song, and we redid it as a bluegrass song.
Fantastic.
And it's absolutely nuts. It sounds insane. And other songs that like Burn Your Anger, which is a heavy rock song in real life, so we've turned it into like a bluegrass swing type thing, so that almost sort of bordering on like jazz type, and so little bits like that we've totally turned everything on its head and gone, right, we need to rework these. And I loved doing it.
It's quite a challenge, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a big job. And then the album, it was like, right, well, I want to put this out because they are completely different versions of these songs. Yes, they are essentially the same song because they're the same song, but
the same chords, same vocal
line. The one the other day when I recorded it and got to the end and thought, why does it sound so different? And then realised because I'd played it completely wrong. So it was different chords that day. But it was just such a cool idea, and I enjoyed doing it so much, and it sounded ace. So I was just like, why don't we do this? And we've talked about it for like a year and a bit.
I think revisiting songs sometimes is really good, isn't it? And
it gives you a fresh take on it.
It's a good discipline because you look at it, and if you strip it right back, you get to
whether it's a good song or not.
And it's the essential ingredients of that song. And
exactly.
You're absolutely right. You might look at that, and it brings a new, fresh impetus to it.
Exactly.
Somehow.
It made it all so much. It took a different angle on everything, which was really exciting. And we've talked about it for ages, about doing this. And then I just said, right, we just need to do it. So I went out, and because I've got a studio as well, so I went out, bought a squillion other microphones and new input things and everything, because I was like, well, I need 1 million inputs now because we're miking up a cajon and everything at the same time. And it was like, oh my God. So that cost a fortune. And so I owe Dad a load more money, which is fine. and yeah.
I'm sure he's used to it by now.
Oh, he is, yeah. Bank manager Dad, yeah.
Did you record it live in the studio? Was that the idea, or did you use a lot of overdubs and things?
Well, it's not finished yet. So basically what we've done is we've kind of done instrument by instrument, just because it's an easier way to record, really. I mean, I don't know if it is easier, actually. For me, it's easy because that's the way I've always done it in the studio is, you play it together, but you mic the drums, you record the drums. So like for this acoustic thing, I've done the guide tracks for it. So I've done like a guitar part, a vocal part, as it would be, but not perfect, obviously. And then the drummer has that in headphones, plays along to that, bass player the same thing at separate times. And yeah, we just build up from that, so it'll probably end up being a massive...
So some of the arrangements are kind of almost work in progress, aren't they? So you can hear things and go, that doesn't quite work there, or
exactly.
something like this.
I know that I'll get to the end of it and go, I need to put this guitar part on it, and why don't we get a cello? That'd be nice. Which is what I do every time, is go, how can we make this sound even bigger? The whole thing of, it's going to be an acoustic album. It's probably not. It's just going to be like acoustic instruments with the songs played different. And
you do solo shows, don't you?
I do, yeah, acoustic.
So, my brain's working ahead here, but presumably doing something that's actually like an acoustic album is a great thing to have when you're doing solo shows, and it might give you that impetus again to say, okay, I'll do a whole solo show or something like
Yeah,
this.
with the band, I've thought about doing that. Because it is a totally different audience with the acoustic thing.
And you're playing different venues quite often as well, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the venues that I play with the acoustic thing wouldn't fit the band thing because they're too, I don't know, there's one near where I live and it's lovely, it's absolutely gorgeous, it's sold out and it was brilliant, but I don't think it'd be appropriate for the band because we'd be too loud. I mean, it was a big theatre, but the audience that went there weren't the sort of people that would go to a rock gig, but they would go to the acoustic gig there. So you've just got to kind of be a bit wise about it and tailor what would work in what venue and what.
Well, if you do an album, a tour of bluegrass, you'll be in on the folk scene. You can get an Americana. You can get
crossover.
Sky's the limit.
Exactly. Oh, just wait.
And what about now the songs for the I'm going to call it a proper album, but
the studio third album, the proper third album.
Yeah, the proper third album.
That's about halfway there. They're a lot more introspective and personal, which is something that's really difficult for me. I don't like writing personal songs because you just can't play them. If you've got a personal connection to them, it's like Home on the last album. It was like a really personal song, and it didn't actually have the meaning that it's now taken on at the time. But it was more a relationship type song. And then my grandma passed away last year, and it was like this whole thing about that song just took on a total new meaning. And I think I played it like twice, got halfway through it both times and bawled on stage. And it was like, I can't play this song anymore because it just meant so much to me, in not the way that it was meant to when I wrote it even, but because it had taken on that new meaning to me, which is weird.
Leaving all I've left behind, I didn't think I could do this by myself, and now that I can breathe, I have found release. There is peace alone. Through the cracks I see the light, illuminating all that's real. And now that I have known memories overthrown, I have found my way home. I am home, home again.
Now I've got you heavier end of the blues spectrum, certainly.
I think I've fallen off at edge.
Well, I would say yes. I brought a friend once to us and said, she plays the blues, and he said, no, she doesn't. She
plays rock.
She plays heavy rock.
Yeah.
I mean, some of your the live arrangements, let's say, the songs, lengthy, almost psychedelic.
Yes.
Hendrix-esque. Yeah. Is that a natural extension of where you came from? Did you start out thinking, I'm going to do sort of blues thing, or do you just sort of fall into that because that's where everybody kind of pigeonholes you and markets you?
It was a weird thing because, I mean, I grew up doing jam sessions and around Bradford and stuff, and the guy that was running it, he was sort of really into like psychedelic, Grateful Dead, that sort of thing that was all very hippy-dippy and, go on and play guitar solo for 15 minutes while he goes outside and smokes a joint, So I was 12, so I'm stood there going, I'll play guitar solos all day long,
Can I stop now?
My hand's fallen off and they're still outside, Anyway, so that's kind of where I sort of like cut my teeth on improv and, just playing what you feel, playing very much from feel. I mean, I know all the technical side of it because I did a boring degree in music and all that sort of thing as well. But it was from being 12 to 16, doing like maybe 3 or 4 jam nights a week, just playing improvised. And, a band would get you up and go, okay, do a solo. And you're like, well, nobody's told me what key it's in. And I'm like, well, better use my ears then, haven't I? Work it out. So that's where I came from with that. And then kind of the blues thing, because I did my degree. And then it was like, put a band together while I was at uni. So we were just like playing pubs and stuff around Bradford. And then it kind of grew and grew and grew, and then the pubs were full and nobody could get in, and then everyone were moaning because they couldn't get in. So it was like, right, well, they're in bigger pubs because the next step is like venues and stuff. So it's like, well, where do you play that's a venue, that isn't a sticky floor type venue that's like, battle at bands? Yeah. So it was kind of like, well, blues clubs, because they've got big venues and it's ticketed and it's nice people and they appreciate what you're doing. Right, we'll go do that then.
Well, they're an audience who listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas often in pubs, they're there to drink, aren't they? And you're the background, you're the jukebox.
Yeah, I mean, we were really lucky because we grew it in such a way that we didn't get like the drinkers. We got the people that were really into. I mean, we were doing like Jethro Tull covers and really weird Robin Trower stuff. So it was like you were going to get the people that were into music.
Yeah.
They didn't, we did the Sweet Child of Mine phase and we sort of backed out of that and got rid of that. But it was, so that kind of progressed into like the blues clubs, which I think sort of where the label of Being Blues came from, because we were still playing like heavy rock then. And then it kind of grew again, and we grew and did stuff like theatres, like here and the arts centres and bigger venues and rock venues as well. So it's kind of like just sort of branched out a bit more. And then it's kind of come full circle because I did a heavy rock album and still playing a heavy rock set and then just like playing prog as well. I'm really obsessed with like Stephen Wilson and Porcupine Tree and Opeth. So I like playing prog and I don't know, I just look at music and go, well, I don't do labels. I do, if it's good and I like it, and if it's bad, well, I don't listen to it, and that's it.
scene, as a start point, for example, it's a very white, male dominated thing. Have you found as an artist now, I mean, we're probably talking 10 years, aren't we? But there's yourself and Joanne Shaw-Taylor and Eddie Litton and Anna Popovich and a host of other artists. Becky Brindle's playing here, I know. And have you found that that's blown the doors open of the scene, and has that helped you?
I don't know really. I know that sounds a bit daft, but I think the scene's still kind of got that kind of like, it's very, I don't know how to put this nicely.
Well, all scenes, no, you can be as rude as you like, but all scenes have it, don't they?
Yeah.
The folk scene has it.
Yes.
This is partly down to this pigeonhole.
Yeah, it is. I think it's still got that whole thing of, well, this is what we expect. We expect that if you play a blues festival, we're expecting that you're going to go play minor pentatonics and sing about your dead dog and that your wife's left you, which I don't have a wife because I like men. Sorry, I don't know why I had to say that. And, that whole thing. And it's just like, no, it doesn't have to be about that. And you can expand more than that. And, I think the scene still has that kind of thing where, whether it's the audiences or some venues, some promoters, everything, it just becomes this thing of, well, if you're playing something with distortion that's heavy, nope, we're not listening, we're going to switch off and we're going to walk out. And it's like, well, maybe listen to it, give it a chance and see if you like it, rather than just switching off.
I saw something, I don't know if it was on your Facebook page or it was a review or something, and somebody had tweeted or whatever, how can a girl be this good? And I thought, well, because she's talented and she'd practiced really hard. But I think I'm hoping we've kicked those kind of comments, however sort of...
Oh no, you still get them.
Do you really?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to think, hasn't that gone now?
No.
Haven't you proved?
Sadly not. No, you still get that, and it's, I don't know.
It's probably not meant offensively.
It's not meant offensively.
But it's still kind of irritating. You've been playing for,
I don't know. I think
it's your craft. It's your art. That's what you do.
It is. It's just part of me. But I think my problem with it is I just look at it and go, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered fighting it. I can't be bothered arguing it. I do what I do, like it or don't like it. If you're going to put a comment like, well, that's amazing that a girl can play guitar like that. Well, it's like, well, no, there's loads of us. There's loads of us that play guitar like that. But, it's just that thing, and I don't know, maybe it's me being Yorkshire, but I just go, I can't be bothered answering it.
What were the artists that inspired you first to pick up the guitar? Rock, blues, or otherwise?
Probably otherwise. I'll tick that box. I don't know, because my dad were always into like heavy rock stuff. Well, I suppose it's not that heavy really, but like Free, Zeppelin, and then I got into heavier stuff like Black Sabbath. Mum loved Fleetwood Mac, so I loved that side of it, which is more softer. And then I got into in my teens, I were into Metallica. Then I got into grunge. So
you've had your phases, haven't you?
I know, and I still love them all. It's great. So I love Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, all that sort of thing. And then, I don't know, I just listen to everything. And I don't really listen to guitarists because it's just a bit, I don't know, it restricts you, if you know what I mean. Yeah. If you listen to just I only listen to guitarists and I don't think outside that box, then all you're going to do is become a clone of Stevie Ray Vaughan or a clone of whatever. And I think that's the thing, you've got to listen to different music and not just what you play, because then all you'll do is play what you play and never stray from that.
Well, it's been fantastic to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope the show goes well tonight.
It'll be
great seeing you live again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.